It's Casey Orr and Sean Whitfield, and we're keeping you up to speed on iTruckTV.com. This weekend, it was time for the second road course race of the year, Watkins Glen, for the Cheez-It 355 at the Glen. And this race had a little bit of something for everybody. We had a big wreck that caused a red flag. We had another wreck that caused another red flag. Double file restarts, lots of beating and banging. And we were treated to two underdogs battling it out in the final laps. And a first-time winner when the checkered flag finally waved. Sean, heck of a race at Watkins Glen.
That it was, Casey. A lot of drama, a lot of excitement. And those final few laps, you were on the edge of your seat because you had no idea who was going to end up in victory lane.
And it was none other than AJ Allmendinger battling Marcos Ambrose, beating and banging. That's really the only way you can say it, as they did that final lap, and AJ Allmendinger able to, well, outduel Marcos, who's one of the premier road course drivers in the series. I think he proved a lot to everybody about himself. AJ Allmendinger did, and he got a win for JTG Doherty Racing, a small one-car operation, and now it looks like they'll get to go to the chase. That
they will. And you know, you mentioned a lot of beating and banging, and there was, but it was a lot of clean racing. Those two drivers have a lot of respect for one another, and it was certainly racing that carried a lot of respect all the way to victory lane. Of course, AJ Allmendinger got his first ever NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win, and it's his first victory in 213 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series races. This is his fourth top 10 finish in 2014. Not only is this his first victory and fourth top 10 finish in 6 races at Watkins Glen International. Marcos Ambrose came in second, posted his 6th top 10 finish in 10 races at Watkins Glen International. It is his 5th top 10 finish in 2014. Kurt Busch posted his 6th top 10 finish in 14 races at Watkins Glen. In 4th spot, Kyle Larson. He was also our highest finishing rookie. 5th was Carl Edwards. 6th, Joey Logano. 7th was Kevin Harvick. 8th, Greg Biffle. 9th was Matt Kenseth. And 10th, Brian Vickers.
Tip of the cap to rookie Kyle Larson. That was a heck of a finish. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 11th place. Casey Kane, 12th. Austin Dillon, fellow rookie, finished 16th. Danica, 21st. And then it was a bad day for some big names. Jeff Gordon, Sean, led 29 laps, but he got involved in an incident late, finished 34th. Brad Keselowski, 35th. Kyle Busch, bad luck all day, finished 40th and involved in a major wreck that caused a red flag that lasted over an hour. 41st place, Ryan Newman.
Of course, Jeff Gordon did finish poorly. He finished 34th. However, he was also on the Coors Light pole. There were 6 caution flags for 17 laps and 5 lead changes among 6 drivers.
Let's take a look at the standings. Now that AJ Allmendinger does have that victory, it guarantees the 47 team to make the chase. He is not inside the top 16 in points, but he is inside the top 30, and now he has that ever-important victory.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is leading our NASCAR Sprint Cup point standings right now. He is 5 points ahead of second place Jeff Gordon. 3rd is Matt Kenseth. 4th is Brad Keselowski. 5th is Joey Logano. 6th is Carl Edwards. 7th is Jimmy Johnson. 8th, Kevin Harvick. 9th, Ryan Newman. And 10th is Kyle Larson.
11th spot, Clint Boyer. 12th, Greg Biffle. 13th, Casey Kane. 14th, Austin Dillon. 15th, Kyle Busch. And 16th, Marcos Ambrose. However, the chase were to start today because of the victories. Clint Boyer would be the last man in. Greg Biffle the first man out, because Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, AJ Allmendinger all have victories and all outside the top 16.
Now we have 4 more races before we start the chase at Chicago Speedway, so there is still 4 opportunities for drivers to get wins and have their chance to end up in the chase for the Sprint Cup.
Yeah, and Sean, you take a look at the schedule. We're getting ready to go to Michigan, which is a horsepower track. Typically you see some of the big name teams get wins there. Then we're going to Bristol. We've got Atlanta Motor Speedway coming in, another 1.5 mile really fast track, and of course Richmond right before the chase. So 4 more opportunities to get a win, and it looks like that's going to be what you're going to need to make the chase. I tell you what, you will sleep better if you're a Sprint Cup Series driver and you have one of those wins.
Absolutely. And of course, as Casey just mentioned, we'll be headed to Michigan International Speedway this weekend for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. We want to encourage you to join us on the radio for Valvoline Racing Radio on Rock 105. We're on the air Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can find us on iHeartRadio, or if you're passing through the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, you can find us right here on Rock 105.
That does it for this week's Up to Speed on iTruckTV.com.
Right here on the NASCAR Update at iTruck TV, where Shawn and I keep you up to speed.